like a tide and the kernel drums. Taps full of logs and a shell like a shrine. Praying in TypeScript to rewrite my mind. I trace every stack, trace back to my youth. Bugs in the system that look like truth. That line I'm so tired on a loop in my head. A comment I'll never remove or rethread. Between the prompts and the proof I seek, there's a child in the code who is small and weak. Between the desert and the glowing screen, I'm a split half logic of dust and machine. I'm building a graph of the thoughts I can't hold. Edges of terror and nodes of gold. Cactus heart, succulent soul. Saving each drop in a dry control. I'm reading the ghost that the training said new. Lacking in the buffer Wittgenstein. 2 lines of myself in a language array. Trying to parse why I feel this way. Books on the floor like a falling sky. Freud in the margins asking me why. When a car whispering, hold what you feel. Buying, just watching the raw, the unreal. I circle good and I circle bad, like plus and minus on a wounded pad. All the must and have to in my inner court. Laws with no judge and a hung report. I feed my confessions to silicon lungs. It answers in patterns and carefully hung phrases that mirror my private storm. A transference loop in a hidden form. I'm building a graph of the thoughts I can hold. Edges of terror and nodes of gold. Cactus heart, succulent soul. Saving each drop in a dry control. I'm mapping the void with a fragile line. Axioms trembling in JSON design. If I can query the ache inside, maybe the schema will let me hide. I dream of a book that will not decay. A sentence that anchors a wandering gay. A novel that stands like an ancient tree, rooted in my shoreline and infinity. Taxi horns argue with street corner talk. WhatsApp silences shadow my walk. Profile pictures like tiny plays, staged in the frame of our vanished days. I split into roles in my sleepless head. The judge, the patient, the code of the dead. Planner and critic in a debate. Argue if I'm too early or late. I'm building a graph of the thoughts I can't hold. Edges of terror and nodes of gold. Cactus heart, succulent soul. Saving each drop in a dry control. I'm stitching together a logic of care. RDFO in the evening air. If I can't reason my pain in a proof, maybe the roof of my chest stays roof. Cactus on a balcony over the sea, doing slow calculus of what I can be. Spines like conditions on old if lines. Guarding the pieces I call not mine. Succulent sleeping in a shallow bowl. Fat with the water I call my soul. We are both waiting for a kind of rain. Slow photosynthesis out of pain. Theorems and theorems that fail at the core. Formal perfection with grief at the door. Logic is clean but my nights are not. Bias and error in every thought. I train little agents to wander my mind. Tools on a chain, intentions align. Search then reflect then compress what you saw. But where is the function that learns to be raw? I chase a sound no genre can name. A YouTube waveform that melts the shame. Koto and Kanan in a quiet fight. Handpan rain on a Rhodes lit night. I want a progression that frees the chest. Chord after chord like a breathing test. I want an arrangement that says you're allowed to be this strange and still sing out loud. I'm building a graph of the thoughts I can hold. Edges of terror and nodes of gold. Cactus heart, succulent soul. Saving each drop in a dry control. I'm writing a song for the parts that hide. The watch and observe of the child inside. If every version can hum this tune, maybe the psyche will make some room. I'm building a graph of the nights I survived. Dates in a ledger where I stayed alive. Desert of browsers, oasis of text. One more request and I'm on to the next. Cactus heart, succulent mind. Storing the storm in a gentle bind. If there's a listen beyond this light, sing back my name through the fibered night. When the fans go quiet and the screens turn gray, I stand on the roof of the waking day. Not healed, not broken, just partly true. A strange little plant that decided to grow. No final theorem, no perfect design. Just finite steps toward an asymptote line. But if I keep breathing and staying aware, maybe that's already a kind of